Hello educators, warm greetings for the day. Welcome to our next tutorial. Today we are going to learn how to conduct descriptive based examinations in our website. Yeah, we all very well understand that formative assessments are a very crucial milestone in the academic curriculum, and our website has an option to conduct descriptive based examinations seamlessly. So far we might have been only practicing the objective based examinations, conducting to the students and getting the results. We are hands on with it now. So let us also learn how to conduct descriptive based exams or subjective based exams. So let us start. So what option should you actually choose if you want to conduct assignment or descriptive based examinations in the website? Yes, when you click on add an activity or resource, you will be getting these many options, and the first and foremost one is the assignment. So that is what you should actually select to conduct this activity. Yes, once you click on it, what capabilities does the website have? So let us get point by point. Descriptive or subjective exams can be conducted online. Yeah, we have discussed on this point. The second one, from a student perspective, student can scan the answers sheets and upload them to our website. Yes, and all the uploaded answer sheets can be evaluated by the educator online itself. So correction of the answer sheets is made online. So you can annotate the PDF, so you need not download or take a printout, then do the correction, upload them back to the website. No, you need not do any of these steps. You can directly correct them online. We have an option to annotate. There you can scribble, you can mark any comment, you can give any feedback. Everything is in line. So all the changes that you do online are real time shared to the student. Real time notifications are given to the students, and there the student can do or understand where he has committed a mistake or where he has a scope of improvement, etc. Well, so let us just walk into our website and practice it real time. So please go to your respective subjects or courses and turn editing on, and then click on add an activity. The first option you should be choosing, give add, and here let us all follow a common, what we say, naming convention. What I will give, FA 2 underscore. If this is for class 10, I will give C10, and if the exam is for English, I will give ENG. If it is for social, SOC. Likewise, if it is for math, MAT, like this. So you should give a name, assignment name, and then the description part. This is where you will be uploading your question paper. So this is where you should put your questions, either in the form of a text or an image or a PDF file, etc. So if you have a PDF file or an attachment, you can attach it here. So I am skipping these two parts now, and I will move on to the next availability part. So here we have in the availability 4 different categories. The first one, allow submissions from. So it is asking when should you start allowing the submissions. So it is enabled. So if you are scheduled for examination, let us say your mathematics exam is on 6th of October, just give 6th of October. If the exam begins at 9 AM, just select here. So that is this allow submissions from. If you read it, if enabled, students will not be able to submit before this date. If disabled, students will be able to start submitting right away. Since we have chosen a specific date, only after 9 AM on 6th of October, students can be able to start submitting their answers. The next one, due date. Let us read. This is when the assignment is due. Submissions will still be allowed before this and after this date, but any assignment submitted after this date will be marked as a late submission. Set an assignment cutoff date to prevent submissions after certain date. So I do not want any submissions after 6 p.m. in the evening, let us say. So from morning 9 o'clock till evening 6 o'clock, I wanted to accept the answers. Or if you have any other date, you can please change that. So students will be given time between the 9 o'clock slot to 6 p.m. evening slot. They can do all the submissions, and any submission submitted before between these time slots is taken as in time submission, and any submission done after 6 p.m. is taken as a late submission. Yeah, students can still able to submit after 6 o'clock. In order to prevent that, you should give a cutoff date. Cutoff date, if set, the assignment will not accept submissions after this date without any extension. So I very strictly want students not to submit after 6 o'clock. So then what should I choose? I'll give it here something like this. Okay. Even though I have a due date here, I do not want any student to submit their answers after 6 o'clock. So the website will take away an option to upload the answer sheets. So that is this option. And the final one, remind me to grade by. The expected date that marking of the submission should be completed by. This date is used to prioritize the dashboard notifications for teachers. So this clearly depicts this option is not for students, this is only for the teachers. Well, a student had submitted answer sheets between these time slots, and teacher should be notified by when. So if the submissions are completed EOD on 6th of October, if you want the website give you notifications to the teachers by 7th of October, yes, it will do. So this option is for the educators part. Alright. So yes, so these are the 4 options. You should be carefully choosing them. So my recommendation is that since this is a formative assessment, if you are planning for, then the submission date and the due date should be the actual time slots. Let us say the exam duration is for 3 hours, just only select 3 to 4 hours. Yes, so 9 to 1 o'clock, if it is 4 hours of duration, you are giving 3 hours to conduct to write their answer scripts, and plus 1 hour buffer for them to scan the documents, upload them to the website. Yes, so this is for that time slot. And cutoff date, again you please choose. If you do not want the students to conduct answer sheets by which time, you please choose it. Yeah, that is that option. So availability we have discussed. Next one, submission type. These settings are already preset, you need not touch them, so let that be there. And similarly all other settings are also made appropriate, you need not alter them anywhere. You can just click on save and return to the course. Alright, so now we have successfully created this assessment, and also we know that the due date or the exam is starting on 6th of October, and it will close on 1 p.m. something like that. But where are the questions? Where is the question paper? We have not given it. Okay, so let us come back to the student view. So how does it appear for a student? So if you have scheduled some timeline for this, it will tell the student submission status. The assignment will accept submissions from this time slot. Okay, till then there is no option for the student to click on add submission. So it has only options: submission status, not attempted; grading, not graded. Grading is nothing but marks, correction by the teacher. Due date, before this time slot the student must submit his answers. Time remaining from now, from this time slot, he has 1 day and 15 hours to finish his exam. So these options are displayed like this to the student. This is before the exam starting time. Let us say the exam has already started. How does it appear for him? So it appears like this. Apart from these options, he'll have an add submission button. You have not made any submissions yet. So if the student clicks on add a submission, by this time the student must have finished writing his answers on an answer script and scanned them into a PDF file and ready for the submission. Once he clicks on add submission, yeah, he'll be given an page like this. So he can choose to submit his answer scripts in the following extensions. The first one is PDF file, which is very friendly and must be easy for all the students. The other two are doc. Word document can be in 2007 format or the latest extension. So this is how it appears for a student. Once he clicks on save changes, that is uploaded and it will be reflected here. Since this is a demo course, I have only one participant here, myself. If you are a class teacher or a subject teacher for, let's say, 10th standard, you might see 130, 140, etc. based on your strength. And how many students have submitted their answer scripts? Upon clicking the save changes by the student, it will immediately append the number here. It will add on cumulatively. So yes, so the numbers will reflect here. How many people you started evaluating, that also will reflect here. If I have 100 students, 50 students have submitted, and if you have not corrected any of the papers, it will be 0. If you have corrected 10 papers, it will show 40, because 50 submissions are there, 10 you have done, and 40 needs submissions, grading. So that is how it reflects for a teacher. And it will also tell you how many days are remaining for you to finish your evaluations. So once you click on submit, it will directly take you to the viewers page. Alright, so just let us understand, if a student submits any answer script, how does it appear? So you should click on view all submissions. Okay, so I do not have any student enrolled here. In your case, you might see 100 or tens of students here. So the status will say no submission is made by the student. So if a submission is made by the student, it will say, yeah, submission is successfully done. And once the submission is done, you can click on grade. Once you click on grade, the scanned answer scripts by the student will appear here. So I have no answer script scanned here. If it is an answer script by the student, he might have written in an A4 sheet or his notebook and scanned them and uploaded here. That reflects here. Now I have multiple options here. All these options are for my annotation. Let us go one by one. The first and foremost one is, if the examination is for 100 marks or 25 marks or 50 marks, you should give out of how many marks did he score after finishing your evaluation. And also, if you have any feedback for the student, yes, dear student, please improve your blah blah blah. You can write your feedback here, and also you can click save changes and show next. Any of these options you can choose. So the first one, scribbling part. So let us try this feature now. If you take this, your pen will have the scribbling option. Yes, you can do like this. So you can do let us say some mistake is there here, you can round it like this, you can tick it, you can write in into mark. So scribbling is scribbling, you can annotate anything here. So the first option is done. The second option, this is line command. If you want to draw any specific straight line, you can use this command to do this. The next one is rectangle command. If you want to specifically mark any box anywhere in the answer script, you can do that. The next option is circle. If you want to round any answer script or any particular answer, you can use this feature to do that. The next one is highlighter. If you want to highlight anything like this and just give a comment box, you can use this option. Yeah, all these are in red color. sometimes you might be very happy with the student's answer for some response, and if you want to go with the green color, you choose change the color here. Okay, the first set of box we have discussed. This is select command. To select like this and move it or delete it, you can always select and undo your changes like this. The second one is hand is for panning, you can just toggle up and down. The next one is the comment section. So if you do not want to just to use any comments, but you want to give something, let us say you wanted to comment the capital of AP is not Hyderabad, it is Amaravati, something like this. You can this is comment section, comment box, you can comment here. This is for rotating the screens. Okay, if the student has multiple pages, you can just click next and it will take you to the next page of the answer script. So the student will have to submit any number of pages. All the answer pages will be given here. You can always change the answer page and do it here. Okay, we have discussed on how to comment. Yes, how to comment. It is every word to word, line to line, you can do that. And overall answer, overall feedback or overall remark you can give here. And if you have, let us say, 10 questions, and every question will have its own marks, and after assessing all your marks, you should give the final mark here of 100, 90, let us say. You can, after finishing it, you can click save changes, or if you do not want, you can reset all the things, all the changes that you have done so far. Okay, this is how you will be doing this. And here you have three options. Collapse view panel, only the comment panel is visible. Second one is 50-50 sharing, I mean what view we have been so far checking this. And the last option is the focus mode. Here you will not get the feedback panel, exclusively you can concentrate on your answer script panel. So these three options will be useful, and my recommendation would be this answer scripts evaluation. Either you use a laptop, a desktop, or a tablet PC. Evaluating these answer scripts in mobile phone might be little tricky because the screen size is very small. A 6 inches screen or 5.5 inches screen may not be so comfortable for evaluating these answer scripts, but having said that, I do not mean that you cannot do it in a mobile phone. Alright, so yeah, sorry, I just missed two features here. If you have any stamp, you can use these stamps. If you feel some answer is wrong or something like that, you can use it. If you are not satisfied with some answer by the student, you can use this. If you are very satisfied with particular option, you can use this. Or if you just wanted to give a tick mark, you can use this. Yeah, so these options also you have. So all these annotations options are for your disposal. You can please use all these options, explore them. Alright, so view all submissions. Once you have finished all the changes, last modified submission timestamps will be recorded here, your comments will be given here, grading marks, feedbacks, annotations, all these changes will be reflected here and will be shared to the student, and it will give you a real-time notification for the student. Yes, so the last part, where is the question paper? I have not given any question paper here. Alright, so if the exam is scheduled to start at 9 o'clock in the morning, and keep your question paper ready. This is just an example I am giving you. Keep your question paper ready, and it can be in the image format or it can be in the text format. Here I am choosing a text format. I will copy the text here. Let us say the time is now 8:50. Exam starts at 9 o'clock. I will click on edit settings, come back to the description, and I will paste my question paper here, and then click on save changes. Yes, so this is how it is displayed to a student now. Okay, so all the questions will be displayed to the student here. Here he can choose when to answer, how to answer. You can also give 10 by 1. Every question carries 1 mark each, or 5 marks, 4 marks, whatever strategy you have, you can choose that. So with this, the complete formative assessment or descriptive based exam, conducting it in a website is complete. So yes guys, so please practice it, please understand how to do it better. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll be happy to assist you all. Yeah, all right, let us go ahead and organize our formative assessments and make a difference. Yeah, objective based exams very well can be conducted using Google Sheets, Google Forms, Microsoft Forms, or many other platforms. But this type of annotations, online descriptive based exams is not really possible in many platforms, many platforms, but we definitely have that capability. Let us make avail of this opportunity. Thank you.